Okay. Thank you, Chaviji, for the recording, for the organization. It's very kind. And so today we will keep on with the established base, existent, observed by valid cognition. So I think it's clear for everyone, yeah, contradiction, equivalent, 3P, 4P, yeah? Very good. Wow, incredible. Okay, so if we say, for instance, because last time we had debates like different from impermanent and so on. So let's try to see. I don't know if we did that before, but anyway, yeah, I'm sure you know the difference between the two, existent and non-impermanent. The first job is to check, okay, do we find any common base? Can something be at the same time existent and different from impermanent? That's quite easy. Oh, sorry, not different from impermanent, non-impermanent. Yeah. Okay.
Temporary, permanent.
Yes, for instance. Yes, temporary, permanent. Yes, for instance. What kind of illustration do we have of temporary, permanent?
We had last time, and I'll use the same example in Pallavi. That was the absence of, how's it called? Thunder,
Lightning.
lightning,
Yes.
right.
Okay, the absence of lightning in the sky. It is temporary, permanent because?
It is momentary. That means that is, it can change from moment to moment, but it's not forever. It's, for a short period.
Yes, exactly. Yes, it doesn't change moment by moment. It exists and it doesn't change moment by moment, so it is permanent. But
Yes, okay, right.
for a certain amount of time. Yeah, it's
Right,
not
right.
for, yeah, exactly. So that's why, yeah, it is temporary, permanent. Yeah, Renga Wetarpa. Very good. Okay, so it is a common base between existent and non-impermanent. Yeah. Okay, very good. So they are not contradictory. If we find a common base, they are not contradictory. So we still have equivalent 3P, 4P.
It's 4P with nothing that is neither.
Wow, fantastic. Yes, yeah, it was a trick, but no, my tricks don't work anymore. You are all too sharp. Okay, so what could be existent, but not impermanent, not non-impermanent?
Pot.
Pot, it follows. Yeah, yes, I remember we had that kind of debate
Yes, we
somewhere.
did this.
Okay, so it's a good review. So it
Yes,
follows the subject pot exists.
accept.
It exists because,
Because it can be established by a valid cognition.
yes, it follows that if it is established by a valid cognition, it's necessarily existent.
Accept.
Okay, very good. And the subject pot is not impermanent.
Accept.
It is not non-impermanent because,
Because it is impermanent.
yes, it follows that if it is impermanent, it's necessarily not non-impermanent.
Accept.
Yes, very good. So we have A and B, A not B. And now what can we find which is not impermanent and not existent?
Horn of a rabbit.
Horn of the rabbit. It follows that the subject horn of the rabbit is not impermanent.
Accept.
It is not impermanent because?
Because it is non-existent.
It follows that if it is a non-existent, it's necessarily not impermanent.
Accept.
Yes, and the subject horn of the rabbit doesn't exist. Yeah, we said that, yeah. So it follows that it is 4P without anything which is nada. Welcome to the Momola. We have some kind of review about existent and non-impermanent, and Chaviji found the answer. There is nothing which is not A, not B. Yeah, otherwise it would be not non-impermanent, so it would be impermanent, and non-existent, so it cannot exist. Yeah, we cannot put even horn of the rabbit. Yeah. Wow, very good. Okay, so that's very nice. And now if we compare, for instance, permanent and possible to be. So if you remember well, possible to be, something is that. Yeah.
It is a part of permanent though, right? So
Yes, yes, we could say yes, but not necessarily.
no, no.
Yeah. 4P.
4P. Wow, very good. 4 possibilities. Incredible. So it follows that you can posit the common base between the two, permanent and possible to be.
Non-composite space.
It follows that the subject and non-composite space is permanent.
Accept.
It is permanent because
Because it does not change moment by moment.
it follows that if it doesn't change moment by moment, it's necessarily permanent.
Accept.
It follows that the subject, Horn of the Rabbit, is permanent because it doesn't
Oh.
change moment by moment.
It needs a common base. It needs a common base, and
Good
Yeah.
phenomenon, yes.
Yes, it has to be a phenomenon which doesn't change. Yeah, exactly. Very good. So it
Mhm.
follows that if it is a phenomenon which doesn't change moment by moment, it's necessarily permanent.
Accept.
Okay, fantastic. And the subject and uncomposite space is possible to be.
Yes, accept.
Okay, very good. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay, it follows that the subject, the two, uncomposite space in the east and uncomposite space in the west are uncomposite space.
The set of the two,
Yes.
it's permanent and possible to be.
Yes. Still, the set of the two is uncompounded space, yeah?
Would we say that the set is
Yes.
still uncompounded space?
Yes.
Yes.
It is, okay. So it follows that if it is uncompounded space, it's not necessarily possible to be. I'm just trying to trick you.
It is uncompounded space, but the set of the two is impossible to be.
Yes, exactly. Very good. So yeah, that's difficult to formulate that way, yeah? So we have to say, okay, one singular uncompounded space. Yeah, because yes, if we say uncompounded space, yeah, the two, space in the east and space in the west, they are that. Still impossible to be. So yes, that's why in Tibetan we can trick more easily. There is no one, two, the, those, and so on. Yeah, it's very easy. But in English, I would accept, yeah, what Chariji said. Yeah, uncompounded space itself is not impossible to be. It is possible to be. Yes, Maria?
I would like clarification why the compound space in the west and compound space in the east is impossible to be. They cannot be in time, they can, but in the space they cannot be together. That's what you mean. Just a clarification.
Yes, because they have no common base. There is no common base between space in the east and space in the west. So the whole set of the two is impossible to be. Yeah, nothing can be that. No, nothing can be at the same time space in the east and space in the west.
That is correct.
Yes,
Accept.
good.
Yes.
So it follows that the subject, the set of the two, space in the east and space in the west, is permanent, but not possible to be.
Correct, correct.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the time at the same time, but not at the same space. Yes, yes, correct.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Because if we just say space in the east and space in the west, that works. But if we say, like, for instance, space in the east and space in the west from Delhi, for instance, then we can have a common base.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that's why I was trying to distinguish when it is and when there is not. And
yes, because
accept.
for instance, space in the west from Delhi is space in the east from France. Yeah, so it is both. So that could be discussed, yeah. But if we just say space in the east and space in the west, yeah, there is no common base. Yeah.
Accept. I got
Very
it.
good.
Yes. Thank you.
And it follows that the subject uncompounded space is permanent.
Yes, accept.
Yes, it is permanent because
Because it is a set of two permanent phenomena.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah, space in the east and space in the west, the set of the two is permanent because both are permanent. Exactly. Very good. Yes. Okay. Fantastic. Wow. So we had something which is both, yeah. Permanent, possible to be, uncompounded space. Then permanent, not possible to be, as we said, space in the east and space in the west. Now, possible to be, which is not permanent.
But
Pot. Yes. Mona wanted to say pot as well.
oh, nice.
Good. Okay, pots. Yes, very good. Yes, we could say one pot. Because the blue pot and red pot are pots.
Hmm.
So that's why, yeah, we could still have some tricky conversations with that, yeah. Yes, pot, just pot is one, and pot is possible to be, yeah. Okay, yes, Maria?
Sorry, more questions, just clarification for my limited
Yes.
brain. The possible to be and impossible to be are subcategories or subclasses to both permanent and impermanent, or only only on permanent?
Yes, exactly. That's why we have this debate, because here we can find possible to be, which is impermanent.
Correct.
Yeah,
But
like
it
pot.
was not in this drawing. That's why I want to clarify that. Okay.
Ah, yes, yes, exactly. It was not on the slide, because on the slide we divide a permanent into two. Yes, we have permanent possible to be and permanent impossible to be. There is another one, permanent in time and temporary permanent, as we said. But yes, Jon Zimpel gives this one. Yeah, and in some textbooks they also give this division. Yeah. Okay. Yes, but yes, that's the trick here. It doesn't mean that in the textbook it is written as a division of permanent, that impermanent would not be divided like this. Yeah, no perversion. Exactly. So that's why we have this debate. Yeah. So it follows that the subject pot is not permanent.
Accept.
Okay, it is not permanent because
Because it is impermanent.
it follows that if it is impermanent, it's necessarily not permanent.
Accept.
Very good. And the subject pot is possible to be.
Accept.
Yes, it is possible to be because
Because why? Why would we say this? What is the
because
definition
something,
possible to
yeah,
be?
because yes, we could say possible to be. It means uh, that which is it exists. Yeah, that which is it exists. Yeah, or something is it. Something is that. Yeah, something can be that. For instance, my pot is a pot. Yeah. So that's why my pot is something which is that, which is pot. Yeah.
Something can be that which exists.
Exactly. Something can be that. You can just say something can be that.
Can be
Yes.
that.
And yes, because which exists, it's a good way to express that, because we could say something can be that, for instance, non-existent. Something can be that. Horned rabbit is non-existent. But that which is it doesn't exist. Yeah, so that's like we say, for instance, can horned rabbit be existent or non-existent?
Non-existent.
Yeah, so the subject horned rabbit is non-existent. So it follows that something is non-existent. So something can be that non-existent. But yes, and the way we formulate that, yeah, something that which is it exists. So in that case, horned rabbit could not be put in that. Yeah. Yeah, that which is that which is it exists. We could say like this, yeah, in English. Okay, yes, Maria.
Okay, I have a question with that it is the pot and the exists, for example. a pot, you can say it's a form, it's valid, it's seen by, it's a phenomenon valid by cognition. So you can put the exist and that is, you can put a meaning behind it. But
Yes.
for a horn of a rabbit, there is no form, right? There is no phenomenon, so there is nothing that is. So that is lacks
Yes.
kind of a substance or something.
Yes.
So that's why
Exactly.
I'm struggling there. Sorry.
Yeah, we can say that. Yes, we cannot even say that blue horned rabbit is horned rabbit. Yeah.
Yes, you
Yeah.
cannot because there is nothing
Exactly.
that.
Yes. The subject blue horned rabbit is not a horned rabbit. So horned rabbit, nothing is that, and it
Right.
doesn't exist. So
Right.
it is both. It doesn't exist, and nothing is that.
So that's why we cannot say that it is for a horn of a rabbit.
Yes, exactly. Yes, the only way to discuss that, we could say a horned rabbit is non-existent. We can say that.
Yes,
Or
because it's a word or a notion
yeah.
somebody brought. There is some kind of a notion, but this notion
Mhm.
is non-existent. Form is existent
Yeah.
or something, but a notion
Yes,
is non-existent. Okay,
exactly.
so that
Okay.
what it is could be a notion or something. Okay, thank
Yes.
you.
And
Sorry for the many questions.
no, that's very useful. Even if we say that horned rabbit is non-existent, non-impermanent, non-form, and so on, it is not that which is that.
Right,
Because we say that which is that, we say that there is in Tibetan yöpa, kö ki yinba yöpa. Yeah, so that which is it exists, but horned
Mhm.
rabbit doesn't exist. So it is not qualified as that which is that,
Exactly,
non-impermanent, and so on. Yeah. We can just negate when we say horned rabbit. It is not impermanent. It is not existent. But we cannot say it is something or something else.
correct.
Yeah.
So we
When
cannot
we
say
say
the horn of a rabbit is that which is. It doesn't exist,
yes,
right? We
exactly,
cannot do the first part. Okay.
exactly. Like sometimes we could discuss that point. We could say, is there any common base between non-existent and blue horned rabbit? No, even horned rabbit is not a common base between non-existent and blue horned rabbit because it doesn't exist. So
Great.
it is
Okay.
just nothing. Yeah, yeah, very good,
Thank you. Thank you.
very good. And so we had possible to be, which is permanent, yes, and permanent, not possible to be. We had possible to be, which is not permanent. And now, among phenomena, what is not A, not B?
Set of the two blue pot and red pot.
Yes, blue pot and red pot, the set of the two, very good. Exactly. Yes, it is not permanent because?
Because they're impermanent.
Yes, because it is impermanent. It follows that if it is impermanent, it's necessarily not permanent.
Accept.
Yes, and it is not possible to be.
Accept.
Are you sure?
Yes.
If you take a blue pot, then after you paint it in red, it is not at the same time blue and red. Sorry for my silly consequences. Okay. Okay, yes, it is something which is not possible to be and not permanent. So we have 4P. Fantastic. 4 possibilities, yeah. Wow, that's so nice, really. Very good, very good. So that's the way our mind is able to ascertain some sets, and those sets, they are composed by contradictory phenomena. Yeah, we can say that, for instance, the pot is not its parts. All the parts of the pot are necessarily mutually contradictory. And they are contradictory with the cup itself, with the pot itself. Yeah. That's very nice. Very good. And sometimes we have also generalities. Some generalities, they have instances which are not contradictory. Yeah, for instance, you have impermanent, functioning thing, cause, effect, and so on. There are instances of existence, and they are not contradictory. Yeah, they are equivalent. Okay, wow, very nice. Okay. Okay, so now let's debate, for instance, okay. So you already know the definition of existence, yeah? It is observed by valid cognition. So if we compare different from existent and one with the definition of existent. Oh, yeah, yeah. Different from existent and one with the definition of existent. Yes, Maria.
So they have a common base, the existent,
Oh, yeah.
and the one with existence is only the definition. The one with definition of existence is only one with itself,
Yes.
and the non-existent is, they have a common base, but they are, so for me they are contradictory. There is no, so I guess there's nothing that is one, because the one with its existence, only that one cannot have
Yeah.
common.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's the point here when we debate those topics. Yeah. One with the definition of existent, we
It's
have
only
to be, it's only just what is one with the definition of existent?
the definition of existence, only one,
Yes,
which is
exactly.
itself. So there is no common.
Yes, exactly. And is the definition of existent different from existent?
No, that's why they have a common
Ah,
base.
okay, so that's why you find it contradictory. Okay, so it follows that the subject definition of existent is one with existent. No.
No, I said one with existence is only one. So one with the definition of existence, only one with itself, the definition of
Yeah,
existent.
exactly. So
But it is existent.
okay, it is existent.
The
Yes.
definition of existence is existent.
Yes, very good. It is existent and it is not one with existent.
It is not one with, no, it's not one with existence.
Yes, very good. So
No.
if it exists and is not one with existent, it follows it is necessarily different from existent.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, so it is a common base.
Exactly. Yes. I said from the beginning, there is a common base, which is the existent.
Very good. Yeah, the common base is just definition of existent.
Mhm.
Yeah, definition of existent is one with the definition of existent
Mhm.
because it is one with itself and is different from existent.
Right.
Okay, so we have a common base, so they are not contradictory. Very good. So are they equivalent 3p, 4p, 5p, 6p?
3P.
3p. Okay. 3p. 3p also. Very good. Okay, I was not sure. I was checking, double checking. Okay, so opposite the perversion.
Whatever is one with definition of existent must necessarily be different from existent, but whatever is different from existent may not necessarily be one with the definition of existent.
Wow, beautiful. So it follows you can posit an illustration of something which is different from existent, but is not one with the definition of existent.
That which is established by a valid mind.
Yes, exactly. We can even say, we can give the definition of existent, for instance. Yes, observed by valid cognition. That's very elegant. Yeah, observed by valid cognition is different from existent and is not one with definition of existent. It is the definition of existent, but it is not one with definition of existent. Wow, that's so nice. Wow, incredible. We could even say the triply qualified substantial existent of existent. And so on and so on. Okay, wow, wow, wow. So nice. So yes, if it is one with the definition of existent, it's necessarily different from existent because
only the definition of existence is one with the definition of existent.
exactly, very good. And only existent is one with existent. So any other existent is different from it. Yes. Wow, very good. And now, what is not A, not B? Not
Exist.
existent. Yes, à ce moment-là. No. Okay. Yeah, we could say Honored Rabbit. Yeah, that would work. But existent is much more elegant. Yeah. Existent, yeah, because it's the only phenomenon which can go there. It is not different from existent, and it is not one with definition of existent. Yeah. Wow, if you all accept that, you are just experts in debate. Yeah, really, really, because it's not easy. Yeah? It's very tricky. Really, really. Wow, incredible. Incredible. Okay, very good. So 3P. 3P. Then, okay. And maybe we can say, yes. Okay, selfless and cause. Selfless and cause. I'm sure you know the difference between the two.
Cause is a producer.
Yes, the definition of cause is a producer. Very good. Wow. Very nice to have the definitions.
Selfless is actually a larger class than producer.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So if it is a larger class, it seems that the configuration is 3P, no?
AP.
Yes. Okay.
Accept.
Very good. So you can posit the perversion. Okay. That's the silence of the Arya. Yeah, in the Vimalakirti Nirdesha Sutra.
I want to give space to other people, really, honestly. So I talk too
In
much.
in the beautiful Vimalakirti Nirdesha Sutra, yeah, there are some discussions between Vimalakirti and the great bodhisattvas. And one of the last to speak was Arya Manjushri. And Arya Manjushri says, we cannot say anything about emptiness. Then they ask the last question to Arya Vimalakirti, and it just doesn't give any answer. That's the silence of the Aryas. We have the same
Oh,
thing.
this is definitely not that.
Ketan came. She's back. I was expecting her.
Yes, the perversion
Can I
is?
try?
Yes, please.
Whatever is a cause is selfless, but whatever is selfless may not be a cause.
Yes, very good. It follows that the subject, any cause, is necessarily selfless.
Except
Yes, it is necessarily selfless because
mm, because mm, because if it's uh, because if it has a self, then it cannot produce an effect.
yes,
Okay.
very good Prasangika answer. Very, very good Prasangika answer. Yes, exactly. Okay, so let's keep it that. Let's keep it, it's so nice. Okay, so it follows that if it has a self, an inherent self or absolute self, it doesn't depend on anything, so it cannot produce anything. Very good. Okay, and for the Sotrantika, yeah, for the Sotrantika, if it's a cause, it's necessarily selfless. It's necessarily not an object of experience of self-sufficient substantial self. Anyway, so that works as well, yeah. Okay, but if it is selfless, it's not necessarily a cause.
Except
Okay, for instance.
I think a burn seed.
Yes. Ah, that's a nice one. Okay, that's a nice one. That's quite poetic. A burnt seed, yes. So it follows that the subject, a burnt seed, is necessarily not a cause.
Except
Okay, it follows that the subject, the burnt seed of the instant A, is not the cause of the instant B, of the burnt seed of the instant B.
I think at the moment it gets burned, it completely you know
Ah, you mean,
completely stops being a cause.
okay, yes. Okay. So for instance, um, yes, what is that kind of grain that you use to make samba, for instance? It is how do we say in English? The samba.
Nas and nas.
Yes,
Ne, yeah.
in English, it is the
In the grain, wheat
yes,
grain,
yes,
barley grain,
with barley grain. Yeah, very good.
barley.
Okay, so when you use those grain and you burn them, yeah, on the pan, yeah, so they are burnt seeds, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yes,
And they are not, they
yes.
cannot produce samba. They cannot produce an eye consciousness. Even.
Yeah.
Yeah. For instance, if you see a burnt seed on the ground.
Nirvana?
Yes.
Nirvana.
Yes, nirvana. Nirvana. It follows that the subject nirvana is not a cause.
Except
Yes, very good. It is not a cause because?
it is cessation of, it's a cessation.
Yes, it follows that if it is a true cessation, it's necessarily not a cause.
Except
Yes.
Okay.
Very good. Yes, Maria.
I have an issue, and sorry, Setan, about the interdependent arising. So there's momentarily, it's the cause, but can be also produced. There's just the next cycle. So there is my problem now. And with everything that you say, even if it's a product and it's part of the producer, even observer, right? You could say observer and producer are, may be different, but still they can be both the cause, but they can also be the effect because of the independent arising. So I do have a problem. Even nirvana can have next steps. So can be a producer of, for example, joy and bliss, for example.
Okay.
So sorry, I know it's a theoretical, but my brain cannot stop. I have a problem there.
Yeah. Yeah, so it depends on what we call nirvana, yeah. If we say, like Tsudamomola said, it's a true cessation. A true cessation is an analytical cessation, yeah. It is necessarily a mere absence, which is obtained by analytical meditation and yogic direct perception and so on, yeah. Okay. So it is a mere cessation, a mere absence. Can a mere absence have a substance which transforms?
Yes, to the observer.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
it's all about definition, right? Who is
Yeah.
the observer? Who is the cause? Who is the producer? What is the
Yeah.
product? Who is the and who is the receiver? And
Yes.
I'm sorry, my mind cannot
Yeah.
stop those dimensions. And
Yes. So because we would say, for instance, yes, the nirvana is the cause of, and the cause in brackets of the omniscient mind observing it. You would say that?
yeah,
Okay. Okay, we would say that it cannot, according to the Sotrantika, yeah, because, and we could say if for any, except the Vaibhashika would say nirvana is able to perform function because it's a functioning thing, but it's not a cause, it's permanent, it's
yes,
compounded, yeah, it
it's
is
not a cause.
yes.
No, the nirvana person is not a cause, but it can be a
Yes.
producer. That's what I meant.
Yes, we could say yes. Yes, we tend to think that when we speak about the Four Noble Truth, yeah, that you know by heart on the fingertips,
Yeah,
true sufferings, true
that's it.
origin, yeah, true cessations, and true
Cessation.
path. Yes. So usually speaking, we say that there are two sets of causes and effects,
Mhm.
but it's a kind of way to speak. Yeah, the second set, nirvana or true cessations and true path, are not cause and effect. Yes, we call nirvana an effect of separation. Del in Tibetan. It's a kind of effect of separation. We are separated from the obstructions. So it's a kind of effect. It's a terminological division of effect, but it's not a real effect because it is a mere absence.
And is there then absence also from selfless?
Yes, selfless is a mere absence as well. Nirvana is selfless. Yes, so nirvana is permanent and its selflessness is permanent as well.
Correct. That I
Yeah.
accept. Yes.
Okay, so if it is permanent, it follows it cannot be a cause.
Because
Because in order to produce something,
you
we
have to
need
be
to
imperfect.
change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is to change. Correct. In that, under this, all those definitions are too limiting for my brain. Yeah. Okay, good. I got it. And apologies for the team. I just need
No,
to.
that's okay. Yeah, it's very constructive. Yeah, because you want to know. It's not like you want to to disturb. It's not at all the case. Yeah, you want to know, and it's very useful for everyone, I
Okay.
guess. Yeah. Wow, so nice. Okay, so it follows that if it is permanent, it's necessarily not a cause.
Accept.
Okay, very good. It's necessarily not a cause because
Cause is impermanent.
yes, because causes are necessarily impermanent in any school. Vaibhashika, Sautrantika, Chittamatra, Madhyamaka, all accept that. Yes. Very good. Very good. There is no permanent cause, not at all, yeah? Yeah, in Buddhist philosophy. Okay, wow, so nice. So yes, we can find something which is selfless, but not a cause, yeah? So nirvana, true cessations, any mere absence, any mere negation, yeah? Okay, wow. And not only all the mere negations, but also some phenomena which are not mere negations, like existent. Existent is not a mere negation, yeah? It's not explicitly realized by way of the explicit negation of something. Yeah, it's just the appearing object to thought consciousness, but it is not a mere negation. So all the mere negations are permanent. They are not causes. They are still selfless. And also many phenomena like generality, definition, definiendum, existent, one, different, and so on. They are the appearing objects to thought consciousness. Yes, but they are not mere negations. Wow. So nice. So nice. Really. And so if we say 3P, it follows you can posit something which is not selfless and not a cause, not A, not B.
Nothing.
Yes, please.
Self.
Self. Okay. The self,
Because
the self, the self which is the equivalent with the person, or the self which is negated in selflessness.
Which is negated in selflessness.
Ah, yeah, because yes, the self itself is a non-existent. Yeah, you agree with that?
Yeah, accept.
Okay. And because it is a non-existent, it cannot be a self, and it cannot be observed by a self. Yeah, so it is necessarily selfless.
Mm.
in that case, non-existent would work.
Sorry?
in that case, anything non-existent, could it
cannot
work?
work because
No,
because
because
it
it
is
would fall
necessarily
under.
selfless.
Okay.
Selfless,
Yes,
yeah.
they would
The
say
only
that,
self, the true
and even
true
self doesn't.
existence.
Self
Yes,
cannot fall.
that cannot go into that.
It
There is
cannot go.
nothing. Yes, because they say in the textbooks, whether it exists or not, it is selfless. Yeah, they would say whether it exists or not, it's necessarily selfless. Yeah, because Holland the rabbit doesn't exist, it is not a self, and it is not observed by a self, and so on and so on. Yeah? So that in that case, it is 3P without anything which is neither. Because selfless is applied to existent and non-existent, so you cannot find any other category which could be posited here, yeah? Wow, so just before we had 4P without anything which is neither, it was existent and non-impermanent. And now we have 3P, the configuration of 3P, one circle goes into the other, but without anything being neither. Eh? Wow, so nice. So nice. Incredible. Okay. Okay, so now if we say, for instance, yeah, sometimes I want to do something tricky, but I'm not sure. Okay. We could say, for instance, let's dare. Phenomenon impossible to be and possible to be.
Common base,
Yes, do you find a common base between the two? Phenomenon impossible to be and possible to be.
permanent.
Okay. It follows that the subject permanent is a phenomenon impossible to be.
Yes, it can be. Yes. It is super class. Yes.
Yeah, it has to be if it is a common base.
Yes.
Okay, it follows that the subject space is a phenomenon impossible to be. There is nothing which is uncompounded space. Sorry, there is nothing which is permanent.
No. It is permanent.
Okay, so it follows that the subject uncompounded space is permanent. So permanent is a phenomenon possible to be.
Correct.
Okay, so it follows it is not a phenomenon impossible to be.
Accept. Mhm.
Okay, very good. Very good. Okay, so yes, permanent cannot be put here, but maybe we can put something else.
Existent.
Existent. It follows that the subject existent is a phenomenon impossible to be.
No, so I'm going slowly. I'm going always higher categories. Wrong. I leave it. Yes. No. It's the opposite what I'm doing.
Yeah. Okay, so it follows that the subject existent is a phenomenon possible to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very good. So do we find a common base? No. A phenomenon impossible to be and possible to be. Yeah, they tend to be contradictory, no? Teştele, Jambalexo. So even a phenomenon impossible to be itself is a phenomenon possible to be. Would you accept that? The subject phenomenon impossible to be is a phenomenon possible to be.
Accept.
It is a phenomenon possible to be because?
Oh,
As
It
a
is
definition,
yeah, because, yes, because something can be that.
as a definition, they are both possible to be.
Yes, if we say, for instance, yeah, phenomenon impossible to be, so the definition is suitable to be an object of an awareness, and that which is that doesn't exist.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That exists.
Mm.
That's possible to be.
Yeah. And exactly, the phenomenon impossible to be is itself
Mhm.
a phenomenon possible to be, because there are many phenomena which
Except,
are impossible to be.
right. Except,
Yeah. So that's why many phenomena are not themselves, like definition. The subject definition is not a definition. The subject definition is not a definition.
no, but the phenomenon, the definition of the phenomenon, it is.
Exactly. If it is a definition, it's necessarily a definition, but definition itself is a definiendum.
Yes.
Yeah, so many phenomena are not themselves. A definition is not a definition. Different is not different. And
Mhm.
phenomenon impossible to be is
Correct.
a phenomenon possible to be, because
Correct.
many things are that. Many things are it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the whole set of the five aggregates, the two, table and pot, and so on. Yeah, they are phenomena impossible to be. So they are that which is that.
Mhm.
Do you agree with that? Yeah, this one is very tricky. Wow, 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 wow. So nice. Okay, wow. So yes, if we say phenomenon impossible to be and possible to be, they are necessarily contradictory. You cannot be both. Yeah?
No,
Because
but there is,
it-
can you say that the phenomenon impossible to be,
yes.
it
So if we
is
choose this
possible
one,
to be?
mhm,
So the intersection is the fact that the phenomenon possible to be,
yes.
not as a definition,
No,
initially as
yeah,
a definition, but the actual phenomenon as
yeah.
a category of phenomenon, it is possible to be, even
Yeah.
though the phenomenon impossible to be. So it's the acceptance that actually the phenomenon is possible to be.
Yeah, so because that's why when we are looking for a common base, we are looking for something which is that. Yeah, and phenomenon impossible to be is not a phenomenon impossible to be. So that's why it's not a common base between phenomenon impossible to be and possible to be.
Correct at the same time. Accept.
Yeah,
Sorry,
exactly.
growing, learning. Thank you.
So nice. So nice. It's very good, yeah. Please don't agree with all what I say. That's the way we learn. Wow, so nice. So yes, even yes, so that can be tricky, because if we compare, for instance, existent and impermanent, we need to find a common base which is existent and impermanent. It's not existent itself, but something which is existent. Yeah, otherwise existent and impermanent would be contradictory, because existent is permanent. But they are not contradictory, because we are looking for something which is a common base, which is existent and impermanent. Yeah. So that's a kind of way to distinguish the generality itself and an instance of that. Yeah. Wow. So nice. So nice. Okay. Very good. So yes, I think you managed perfectly those points. So maybe we can go to the causes and impermanent and so on. It follows that the subject, effect, and cause are necessarily. No, I would ask you. It follows that you can posit the definite difference between the two, effect and cause.
That which produces results is the effect, and
Yes.
that which causes the effect to be produced is the cause.
Yes, exactly. We can say that that which is produced is the effect, and that the producer is the cause. Yeah, exactly. Very good. And if we compare both, they are contradictory, equivalent, 3P, 4P.
Can we say that they can be at the same time, or is it a consequence? What is the definition? Is there the one precedes the other, but is there overlap there could be an overlap. They can be both cause and effect at the same time
Okay.
in a cyclical
Okay.
way, right? So
So can you find a common base between the two?
that's what I'm trying to
Well,
challenge myself here.
yes.
What can be both a cause and effect at the same time, right?
Yes,
So
exactly.
life, for example, is both cause and an effect.
What, sorry? Which
Life,
illustration?
nirvana,
Life.
for example, both cause and effect.
No, it follows that the subject nirvana is impermanent.
Ah, yeah, we're looking for a permanent thing. No, but you said possible, no? Cause and effect. They are not permanent. They are
No,
impermanent.
they are necessarily impermanent, exactly.
Yes, exactly. So that means
Okay.
the nirvana is also impermanent, and that's why it can be both cause and effect.
Yeah, nirvana itself is, is like terminologically, we could say, or verbally or imputedly an effect, but it's not an effect. Yeah, it's a kind of it's an object of obtention. Yeah, we obtain that, but it is not produced. It is necessarily not produced. Yeah, we could say
Isn't it
that
produced, I mean, or our life, isn't it produced of our previous karma? So that means that's why.
yes, yes, we could say that. Yeah, exactly. We could say that one life, one contaminated life, is necessarily a result, a karmic result in one sense. Yeah.
And it's an effect as
Okay.
well.
Yes, yes, because result and effect are equivalent, exactly. Yeah, yeah. We can say literally fruit, drebu, okay, or palam in Sanskrit. Yeah, it can be fruit or result, effect, and so on. Yeah, okay, good. So, can we find a common base between the two, a cause and effect?
Yes, or all are
Yes.
bases.
Okay. Very good. Yes, it follows the subject. The seed is an effect.
Accept.
Yes, it follows that the subject, the seed, is an effect because?
Because it is produced from a fruit.
Yes, exactly. And it follows that the subject, the seed, is a cause.
Yes, because it causes the sprout to be produced.
Very good. So, yes, any impermanent phenomenon is at the same time a cause and an effect. Would you agree with that? Okay, so let's say the last moment of the arat. The arat, which obtains the nirvana without residue, the last moment of that person, yeah, after that person ceases to exist, yeah, for the Vaibhashika and Sautrantika and Chittamatra following scriptures, yeah. So when the arhat is dying, there is no person at all. So the last moment of the arhat is a cause because it is an effect.
But is it permanent or impermanent? The last moment.
It is impermanent because it's still the
Right,
person, the arhat, yeah.
right.
So it is an effect. Is it a cause?
Yes, for the next step.
For the next step, there is nothing anymore. It
Doesn't
dissolves
matter.
in space.
Still, it is an effect.
It is the cause of nirvana.
Yeah.
Okay. So it follows that the subject nirvana is produced.
Yes.
I
When
would
we
accept also because even emptiness is empty of inherent existence. So then, it is an ad infinitum functionality. So what would we not call them also cause and effect?
yeah, we could say that the mere cessation of the arhat is the mere cessation, the mere ceasing of the arhat when he obtains the nirvana without residue is mere negation. No?
I
Okay, so it follows that a mere negation can be produced.
But you mentioned that particular moment, and that particular moment, yes, not the next state, but at that
Because the next
particular moment,
state, there is nothing. Yeah,
the next state
for
is
the soul.
permanent, so it cannot be cause and
Yeah,
effect.
the next state, there is just nothing. It's a mere
Right.
cessation. Exactly.
But that moment can be both cause and effect. That last
Yeah, no, it is it is a cause of what?
of the next step. So the jump, the aha moment, I don't know how you call it.
Yeah, it's
And
all of the next step, which is nirvana without residue, is produced because it has a cause.
yes,
Conventionally, yes. Ultimately, no.
Actually, when we say nirvana, we give that example of removing the layers of an onion. So when we
Yes,
remove afflictions, so it is not produced, it is already there, but it's covered with mud, something like that.
yes,
So yeah.
yes. In one sense, we can say
So
that.
even in Buddhahood, like it's hidden and layer of dirt in the
Yes.
form of afflictions there, and we remove the afflictions, so it's already there, so it is not produced.
Okay. Ah, you mean the mud of the afflictions is there, so it is not produced.
No, no, it is removed,
No?
but then Buddhahood
Ah,
or like nirvana is already there,
yes, in one
so it is
sense, yeah.
not produced, it's just unraveled.
Yes, exactly. That's like
Yeah.
the sky. When the clouds are eliminated, dissolved, the sky stays the sky. Yeah? So it's a way to say that exactly. Yeah, nirvana is it's already there. We could say it's the naturally abiding Buddha nature. Yeah, the true nature of mind. It's a kind of nirvana which is not discovered yet. A kind of, yeah. Okay, we could say that. Why not? Okay. Okay, so I'm trying to trick you, yeah, but it doesn't work. Okay.
That's good. Thank you, Tsitamala.
So yes, exactly what disappears is the obstruction. Yeah, the obstruction which is produced is disappearing, and the nirvana is just manifest at that point, but it is not produced exactly. So yes, we could say that. And the last moment of this arat is a cause because it is an effect, no? We said if it is a cause, it's necessarily an effect, and if it is an effect, it's necessarily a cause. So because this last moment of the arat before he ceases to exist is produced, yeah, it is the last moment of mind and so on, and the aggregates, the non-contaminated aggregates, we could say, if we speak about the mind. And if it is an effect, it has to be a cause. So a cause of what? We could say a cause of the omniscient mind observing it, no? Yes, we can say that. Yeah? Okay. And now let's stay with this arahat. It follows that an arahat, which is in nirvana without residue, is necessarily a Buddha because it doesn't have the cognitive obstruction, because it doesn't exist anymore. Okay. This one is too tricky. Yeah. Again, so because the arahat, which is in nirvana without residue, is ceasing to exist. So even in his cognitive obstruction cease to exist, no?
Yeah, and the mind observing, are we talking about self, that cognizant mind?
Ah, yes, we can say that, yes, for the Sotrantika, we could say
Mm.
that the the last moment of the mind of the Arat is observed by the self-cognition anyway, and it is observed by omniscient mind as well, yeah. And this for the Sotrantika, the omniscient mind also has a self-cognition. Yeah, for the Sotrantika, and Chittamatra, they all accept the self-cognition. Yeah? Okay. Okay. So yeah, it's not easy. We could say that yes, the arhat, which is in the the nirvana without residue, is not a Buddha because it doesn't exist anymore.
And mind of omniscience means Buddha
Yes, we could
observing
say
the Arhat.
yes, exactly. Yes, for the exactly. It means that the Buddha, which is observing the arhat, the last moment of the arhat is a cause of the mind of the Buddha observing that arhat. So it is still a cause. Yeah.
That has to do with the interdependent arising, right? Because that is, again, sorry, because for me, there is the cause and effect for the individual, but also the cause and effects for, all around. So that is the interdependence arising. So this is all something that we also very often we forget that the cause, a producer can make causes to other.
Yes. Yes, we can say that there are causes which cause many phenomena, and we can say, like, for instance, the seed of today is producing the seed of tomorrow and day after tomorrow and so on. So many phenomena are produced by one cause in one sense. Yes. So of course, when we enter after in the Madhyamaka, there is a reasoning, which is no many effect from one cause, no many effect from many causes, not one effect from one cause and not one effect from many causes. So there are different reasonings like this, but it's in another context. Here in the Sautrantika, they would accept that yes, one cause can produce many effects. Exactly. And I guess the Madhyamaka as well, conventionally. Yeah, conventionally. Yeah. So yes, dependent arising, yeah, it's kind of production, yeah, dependent origination, yeah. Like you have the external one and the internal one with the 12 links of dependent arising, yeah, that you know by heart on the fingertips.
I've still I have a doubt, Christophila.
Yeah.
Like last moment of the mind of Arhat, why would it need to be observed by an omniscient mind? Like it's a true cessation, so it's in itself a endpoint, I guess. So why would it needs to be established by an omniscient mind?
So yes, it depends if we speak about the very last moment of the arhat. The last moment of the arhat is a person, yeah, because that's the arhat, which is mind and with his mind and feelings and so on. So this last moment is necessarily observed by valid cognition because it exists, yeah. So we can say that it is observed by his own self-cognition, as you said before. His own self-cognition is a valid cognition. And the mind of the Buddha has to observe everything because, as we said earlier, you remember those equivalent with phenomenon. We have object of comprehension of an omniscient cognition, of an omniscient mind. So it means that if it exists, it has to be known by a Buddha at any time. Yeah. And even the mere cessation, after the last moment of the Arhat, when the Arhat has ceased, this has to exist. So if it exists and it is not known by the Arhat himself because it doesn't exist anymore, it has to be known by the Buddha. Yeah, very good. Wow, so nice. Yes, please.
I'm sorry.
No,
And
no, no
please,
problem.
if I'm a problem, just let me know. Charity, Sika, Chetan. Okay. Nirvana. I accept it's permanent, but I don't accept that it's the last point. It's the end.
Oh, okay. You
Because,
are a disciple of Nagarjuna.
right? So it's not the end, right? It's
Yeah,
a different state, but not the end.
exactly. Because I think it's in the Yukti Shastika from Nagarjuna, and we have also in English the Yukti Shastika Vritti from Acharya Chandrakirti, which is not so easy. The terminology that they use in English is not so easy. But yes, at some point, Arya Nagarjuna is asking, okay, who is obtaining the nirvana without residue? Because there is no one. The person has ceased. So there is no one who experiences that true cessation. So that's why for the Chittamatra following reasoning and for the Madhyamika, it's, as you say, another state. It's an uncontaminated flowing of the aggregates. Yeah, the aggregates are not contaminated anymore. Yeah, but they are still there. Yes, good. Okay, very good. Wow, so nice. It's very auspicious to finish our discussion on Buddhahood and Nirvana. For the sake of all the beings and the good health and long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And thank you so much for your answers and the questions asked by Chaviji. So then we can organize some classes during the winter time. Yeah. Thank you so much. That's very, very pleasant for me. And I'm really, really, really grateful with all the job that you're doing. It's just incredible. Yeah. Thank you so much. Take care and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Highly appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks
Thank
to
you.
everyone.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much.
See you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.